So I just made a video about weddings and whatnot earlier. I was using it just for the wellness bundle, but then when I was about to upload it to Mina's Apothecary, which I'm going to upload anyway because I'm talking about it, so this video now should be after the other video, was that, what about steampunk weddings? Because I saw some pictures, a local woman here who's like big in the steampunk community took of a couple that got engaged at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, who are both steampunkers. And I've seen at least the girl around before at different events. Not sure about the guy. I don't know what their names are either, but I recognize them at least. Um, what would a steampunk wedding consist of? Would everybody be required to wear steampunk garb, or would you be taking like would vows be different? Would you be doing them like taking Victorian wedding traditions or what? Like I don't know what a steampunk wedding would consist of. I know there was a local girl here who did a steampunk wedding a while ago. I didn't attend, but I had a friend who I was trying to help make a steampunk costume for or find stuff at the thrift store to wear. I think they blended it with like Japanese and steampunk or something. I wasn't there, so I don't really remember. But they did a blend of different things for their wedding. And I didn't ask her about it afterwards because I wasn't close to the people or anything. I think I had them on my Facebook friends list because they're part of my pagan community, and that was about it. Um, I haven't really looked up anything about steampunk weddings, but it was just an idea that I was having. I would never really want. I'm not into steampunk enough to want to do a steampunk wedding. I was thinking about like a darker gothic kind of romantic wedding would be cool, but I'm not getting married. So if you haven't watched my other video, I'm not talking about like my wedding or anything. Just thinking about weddings. Because my stuff that I do with steampunk is more like a subgenre gaslamp or gaslight horror fantasy. So I tend to dress more darker clothing and everything, and work with like the fantasy aspect of things, not so much like working products. Like I've seen like one of the guys from League of Steam was at Comic-Con, and he had this little pack on his back, and you hold the little metal rod, and I guess I forgot what he did to make it so it would like zing electricity through you. Like I don't know, and I don't like brown too much. So when I first got a steampunk, I'm like I gotta make sure everything's brown, and then I kept buying black and more black and more black. But it works because I've seen other people wear things other than brown. I don't feel like you have to wear brown to be steampunk. A lot of people in the community also that I've seen recently um, do historically accurate Victorian costumes and just consider themselves steampunk because they're working with Victorian stuff and heading along with people who are doing Neo-Victorian stuff. So it's all mixed together. I want to get some Victorian patterns and try and make an outfit with that. The only part that I feel would be expensive is all that material that you have to buy, and I know a lot of them have like corsets underneath. I have my waist cincher, but I don't really want to wear it directly on my skin and then be all hot and sweat through it, and it's black, and no, yeah. I don't need like sweat stains on it or something, which is gross. So, I don't know how I'm going to work that. I was thinking of making a bathing suit, but I don't like pants and stuff that are loose. If I'm going to wear pants, I want them tight against my legs and everything. Not like to the point where I have a muffin top, but I like them, I don't know, I don't like loose material. It feels weird. Even with skirts, I always wear leggings or like bike shorts, you know? Nobody's seeing those shorts, so it doesn't matter how my legs look in them. But I was trying to think of like what kind of decorations you'd use for steampunk weddings. I know some people consider that steampunk you can't just like glue cogs to things and paint it brass or whatever and call it steampunk. So would you have like functioning tabletop things? Would it all be in brown in different colors, different shades of brown or something? There's so many different ideas that are popping through my head that you could use decorating with little cog pieces and watch pieces. And I know there was something I saw on one of the wedding channels. Somebody had a mustache themed wedding. I don't think it was steampunk. I think it's just that mustaches are popular now. That could be part of the theme or something. I'd like to see pictures of somebody's steampunk wedding. I'm sure if I Google it, I can find like one. Because I know Asatru, I mean, I Googled Asatru wedding. I found like 3 actual pictures. There was a woman in a regular gown. So when I think of Asatru wedding, which is my other video, I think of like wearing like Viking age garb and whatnot, and trying to be like authentic and everything, and at least the clothing and whatnot. But I guess not everybody thinks that way, so, which is perfectly fine. Just with me, if I was gonna have an Asatru wedding, heathen wedding or whatever, I'd want to wear my tragarok and my underdress and everything, and have my husband wear like a tea tunic and all that, or whoever I'm marrying. But yeah, I'd love to hear your opinions on what ideas you'd have for a steampunk wedding. Even if you've had a steampunk wedding, a link to some pictures or something would be really cool, or a video. I just find it interesting, like, different themes and whatnot. Because I'm watching these wedding shows, and all the weddings look the same to me. I mean, some of the centerpieces, what really draws my attention is when they have cool floral arrangements. Because I love plants, so like, well, a lot of the weddings will have fake plants. I'm like, ugh. But the last one I watched, even on her aisle, she had little bouquets on the sides of the chairs, and she also had like bouquets of flowers on each table that were like in there having their wedding in a botanical garden. I'm just like, oh, plants. um, but yeah. So this is a ramble about steampunk weddings. It actually doesn't give any information, which I know a lot of people will probably watch this video thinking that I'm going to give pointers on how to get married steampunk style. Sorry for that. But yeah, steampunk's becoming more popular. So I'm assuming that that there are at least some people out there who are having steampunk themed weddings. Because I can see people already having like Victorian themed weddings. I'm seeing on these shows are having like old Hollywood, 20s style, whatever, 60s, something. So obviously there has to be a steampunk wedding out there that I just haven't seen. So I'm gonna go hunting now for them, and I would appreciate any help in finding steampunk wedding stuff. Even though I'm not getting married, I still find it fascinating. Weddings, I don't know, they interest me, but they don't interest me at the same time. Like, there's so many ideas and different things you can do of people putting all this money into it. But then I see these people spending like $25,000 on a wedding, and I'm like, what costs so much? Why does this wedding suck so bad? Like, it's just my personal view on it, you know? I'm like looking at the same white dress that probably 100 other women have worn, the same tabletop stuff, and weird food that nobody likes, you know? I don't know. I don't see how much money is being spent on things. I'd rather me and my partner go to Iceland and sit on the edge of the beach or something somewhere and get married or something, you know, be near nature or whatever, or have like some dark romantic wedding. All these weddings seem the same, and the people think that they're like, oh, we're being unique, and I was like, I just watched this 2 episodes ago with a completely different woman. Yes, you're unique. No, I lied. You know, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't judge people. I'm not unique either or anything. I know my ideas are not as unique and not as creative as others, but if you're gonna make shows about them and talk about how glorious your wedding is, maybe you should actually make sure that it's, you know, glorious. I sound really judgmental in this video. I'm terribly sorry for that. I don't mean to come off that way. It's just, yeah, I don't really like these shows, but they're interesting, but I don't like them at the same time, if that makes sense. I mean, I like seeing what people are doing with their stuff and everything, but at the same time, kind of like, why? Why? I don't know. A long time ago when I was thinking of weddings, I wanted like everybody to wear traditional German folk costumes. I'm like going down the aisle in my dirndl. But beyond that, I felt like all the traditions for that were pretty much the same as everybody else doing things. So there was no spark of like creativity in there or anything. And an Asatru wedding wouldn't be much different than any other Asatru wedding, but at least, I don't know, you wouldn't have to put too much money in it. Go to the thrift store, buy some old sheets, make yourself some cool garb, and you're done. And you can live happily ever after and put all that money that could have gone into a $25,000 wedding into, you know, paying part for a new car, maybe, or putting it into buying a house, something. Kids' college fund if you have them, perhaps. So yeah, thank you for watching my ramble, which is probably all of my videos, and that's about it.